Hello, everyone. My name is Professor Christine Whelan, and this is Consuming Happiness, Spring 2021. I am really glad that you're here joining me, and this is your introductory lecture for Module 1. It's something I'm going to do in each module to kind of put everything in current perspective. So today is January 22nd, 2021. That's when I am recording this for you guys. And hopefully you are getting settled and getting ready for the new semester. We're going to jump right in, and there's going to be lots of material from the get-go. So I want to give you a little bit of an overview. But first, I want to say welcome wherever you are. Some of you are coming back to campus. Others of you are home. Others of you are in off-campus apartments. Either way, we're still in the pandemic. Normally, I teach this class in person to 120 or so students. Because we're online, there has been an incredible outpouring of interest for this class, and we've been able to accommodate a lot of that interest. So I think we're at like 150 and maybe even more for this semester, which is really exciting. And Lord only knows we all need some happiness right now. This is one of the things that we're going to be talking about in this module. What does it mean to be happy? What does it mean to be happy right now? And what does it mean from the perspective of this class, Consuming Happiness? So, putting it into perspective in terms of current events, we've had a heck of a start to January, right? We have had, an insurrection. We've had an impeachment. We have the pandemic that is still raging. We've had an inauguration of a new president. All sorts of things are changing and in the process of changing. I don't know about you, but I remember in 2020, we just kept saying, I can't wait till this year is over. But 2021 is going to bring a fair amount of tough stuff as well. While COVID rates are dipping right now, some people are likening it to a tsunami where the water kind of pulls out before the big wave hits. And the concern there is that this is kind of a calm before the storm, that we are going to get really walloped with this new variant, and if we can't get enough people vaccinated, then we could be in for a whole lot of hurt in March and April of this year. That's tough news, and not really the news that you want to start a happiness class with. But one of the things that we're going to talk about is this idea of happiness, well-being, thriving, all of those words in times of trouble. And it's going to be a while till we get back to, business as usual. I sort of wonder whether we're ever going to get back to business as usual, or whether there will always be some holdovers from this. We're going to talk all about what thriving, happiness, how you spend your money, how you spend your limited resources of time, how it all comes together under the umbrella of where we are right now. So, what I'm going to do in this class is that there are going to be modules, right? So every week is a new module on a new topic. I am going to have one lecture be the kind of breaking news lecture for the week. It'll be a mini short lecture, under 10 minutes, hopefully, depending on what's going on. And I will put the module in context of current events. So right now, what I'm talking about is that we kind of don't know what the future is going to bring. We are certainly not heading toward smooth sailing in the way that we had hoped, yet there is some hope out there. So what does it mean to have a life of well-being? What does the good life look like for you when a lot of the future is really, really uncertain? So what each lecture is going to have a kind of breaking news component where I'm going to put the ideas in context of what's going on right now. But then there are going to be evergreen lectures. And sometimes there are going to be a bunch of them. Sometimes there'll be fewer of them, depending on how I split it up. But I'm going to try to have short lectures, 10, 15 minutes tops, where I break things down into segments so it's easier to watch in just a little bit of time. Those are going to be hopefully evergreen lectures, meaning that there's stuff that doesn't change no matter what's going on in the world. We've had murder hornets, we've had pandemics, we've had riots, we've had wonderful movements for social justice. We've had really, really trying times in terms of economic, health issues, you name it. It's been a wild ride recently, and I have a feeling that this semester is going to bring us lots more. So there will be breaking news, there will be these evergreen lectures that no matter what happens, it's still important to know what purpose means. It's still important to know about the hedonic treadmill. It's still important to know all of these key terms that are going to be the building blocks for consuming happiness. So every week there will be a module that will have breaking news and evergreen stories. Now, I want to just jump right in it and get right to it in terms of this week's module lectures, discussions, readings, etc. There's going to be a lot in these early weeks, and I kind of apologize, but I don't, because it's really important to get the building blocks so we can talk about the applications of consuming happiness throughout the semester. So there are a bunch of lectures this week, and this is really the core of the class, where we're going to talk about what happiness is, what purpose is, what the good life is. And I'm going to encourage you to think about it for yourself, not just think about it in the abstract. Certainly, we're going to talk about what Aristotle and Epicurus thought about happiness. We're going to talk about positive psychology a little bit. We're going to talk about all of these modern ideas of happiness. We're going to challenge them. And I also want you to think about what the good life means to you. I'm encouraging you to begin to read the big picture. Yes, it's my book. I know I'm one of those professors who are assigning their book in the class. However, the caveat is that this is a book that's really written for you, for young adults in college, to meet you where you are. It's the only book out there that I know that is written to talk to young adults about purpose and meaning formation in an applied way. So that is there. For those of you who are interested in learning more, I also actually have a recently released audiobook version of it. It's more for a generic audience, so not geared necessarily toward college students, but it is called Finding Your Purpose. It's terrible. I don't know the name of my own book, right? It's called Finding Your Purpose, and it is on Audible. It's an Audible original Great Courses lecture series. So it's 10 lectures, and what you're saying to yourself now is, wait, I have to listen to those lectures in addition to these lectures? No, you don't. It's only out there for maybe if your parents, for example, are saying, like, what courses are you taking? And if they have an Audible account, just for 1 credit, they can kind of take the course along with you a little bit. So that's out there if you're interested. Otherwise, let's see. This week, it seems like there are a lot of lectures, but they're short. They're like 10 minutes each, and they're bite-sized. So don't be intimidated by the number of videos that are out there. Please watch the lectures in order if possible. They'll build on each other, and that'll make it easier. I'm working on all sorts of tech stuff. So there's a purpose lecture that, like, the sound you'll really have to jack up. It's not so good. There's another one that might blast your eardrums out. I'm working on it. It's going to get better. And that's why I'm holding this microphone now, because that seems to really help. The course, as I said, is front-loaded, and I do that because I want to lay out the building blocks, not to scare you away, but just know that there's some intense readings and a fair amount of work up front. Things will get easier as the semester goes on. Students seem to appreciate that, and so I just wanted to give you a heads up that that is coming. I am really excited to have you in Consuming Happiness this semester. I hope you are happy to be here. My goal is to teach you not for school, but for life. And I hope some of the lessons that you learn in this class will be useful to your well-being right now in these uncertain and odd times, but also as you plan out your future, whatever it may be. So here's to you, here's to Consuming Happiness, and let's jump into the rest of Module 1.